All my friends present, past and beyond, especially those who weren't with us too long. Life is the most precious thing you can lose. While you were here, the fun was never ending. Life a minute was only beginning. Captain Corbin Nichols, this one's for you! Never get that feeling you can go on. Just remember the side it is that you're on. You've got friends with you till the end. If you're ever in a tough situation, we'll be there, no hesitation. Brotherhood's our rule, we cannot bend.
Fans, here are the first 11s, beginning with the wayside, Ehtar Belleville FC. Their captain, number 3, Dylan Cassidy. Their goalkeeper, number 1, Jose Ogaz. Number 8, Yaya Nogenga. Number 10, Tristan Austin. Number 11, Wyatt Fowler. Number 13, Jermaine Mentour. Number 14, Brian Beement. Number 19, Xavier Brown. Number 20, Harry Steffen. Number 23, Aman Mervin. Number 24, Michael Hodgson. Ehtar Belleville FC is coached by Drew Crawford. And now, the first 11 for your Milwaukee Torrent. The Torrent co-captains are number 4, Taylor Pill. And number 23, Max Ludwig. In goal for the Torrent, number 0, Augie Warnod. Number 3, Zechariah Dayu. Number 5, Angel Gongora. Number 7, Juan Lopez. Number 9, Gabe Boone. Number 12, Jamie Lecomte. Number 14, Lucas Nestus. Number 22, Finlay Skilling. And number 25, Jay Shea Bailey. Your Milwaukee Torrent is coached by James Weber.
Please rise. And now, to honor America and all that it stands for, as well as our freedom and those who serve to protect it, the playing of our national anthem.
From Hart Park in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, it's time for FC Milwaukee Torrent Soccer. Good evening, everyone. Dan Pfeiffer with you from the west side of Hart Park this evening, where tonight it's FC Milwaukee Torrent in its second NPSL game of this 2024 season, taking on Ehtar Belleville FC, with both squads looking to try and get their first victory of the 2024 campaign. Good to have you on board this evening. As you can see, a picture-perfect night. Mayor Dennis McBride here in Wauwatosa couldn't have painted it any better. 70 degrees, clear skies, winds coming out of the south-southeast at 11 miles per hour, humidity of 41%. Heck, the waves off Lake Michigan are even nice and calm at 1 to 2 feet. It's FC Milwaukee Torrent, who drew in their first match in the NPSL season last week against Des Moines United, a 2-2 draw, taking on Ehtar Belleville, a team out of Belleville, Illinois, in the shadow of the Gateway Arch in St. Louis, which lost to Sunflower State last weekend 5-2 in their home opener. So it'll be a priority for both teams to get a little better defensive effort, particularly early for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Augie Warnod gave up goals in the 3rd and 9th minutes of the match last week. The Torrent, of course, then scored a couple times later in order to get that draw, whereas Ehtar Belleville surrendered goals in the 31st, 46th, 70th, 81st, and 90th minutes of their match against a very good Sunflower State FC team from Kansas. So they, too, will want to play a better defensive match this evening. You saw the starting lineups just a little while ago as they got introduced. We'll be interested in seeing what we get from some of the new Torrent players that we've got on the roster this week. Keying on Jai Shea Bailey, a very fast player who can come out of the back on the wing and do a lot of different things. He is a Marquette University player who is with the Torrent this summer. It'll be fun to watch what he can do. He is new to the Torrent this week after not being a part of their roster last week. Over on the other side, you've got Jose Ogaz in goal. He is actually from Bloomfield, Colorado. Quite the spread of players for both of these squads. A number of international players on both of these teams as well. On the Ehtar roster, they have a former MLS player, in addition to a former USL Championship player on their roster. The Torrent, of course, very heavily influenced by D2 Parkside in terms of who they have on their roster, but a number of players from around the world, including Juan Lopez, a Colombian national who is in the first 11 tonight, along with Finlay Skilling, who comes to us from England, in addition to the many players who are, of course, from around here in the Milwaukee area. Kickoff is taken and possessed by Ehtar Belleville, and we are underway here in Wauwatosa, which for those of you watching in Belleville, Illinois, or elsewhere, I know there is a match-watching party going on in Belleville tonight. Wauwatosa is northwest of downtown Milwaukee, so as you are looking from our vantage point here in the press box, you can see a few buildings of downtown just kind of over the horizon to the east. A suburban area here in Milwaukee, still in Milwaukee County. A number of suburban counties surrounding Milwaukee County, but Tosa very close to the Miller Brewery, and of course, a bit of a rivalry between Miller Brewing and all of the Anheuser-Busch products that are produced in the St. Louis area. We'll see if any of that rivalry translates to the pitch this evening. Playing the ball through the back, it is Ehtar Belleville, taken away momentarily by the Torrent, and now they'll have it in the attacking third. Ludwig plays the ball into the box, looking for a crosser, can't find one, as the Torrent try and strike as early as Des Moines United did against them last week. However, they can't find a friendly foot. And now we'll have a scrap for the possession in midfield, sent forward by Tristan Austin. Played back nicely by Shea Bailey. And the Torrent will play it through the back. Direct ball forward. Overly optimistic. Controlled, ball played well forward. Coming well off his line is Augie Warnod. He's able to possess. There is some indoor influence out here on both teams. Of course, Taylor Pill, one of the co-captains for FC Milwaukee Torrent, spent many years with the Milwaukee Wave, one of the longest-standing professional soccer organizations, indoor or outdoor, in the United States. And a little bit of indoor-like action from the keeper Warnod there for the Torrent as he came way off his line. Now the Torrent with it again in the attacking third. Zakaria Dayu, he is a German national for the Torrent. Plays a ball into the box. Outstanding defense by Ehtar Belleville. And once again, the Torrent cannot find one of their strikers in front of the nets. And Ehtar Belleville will try and send the ball towards the south. But the Torrent are able to capture possession. This is Lucas Nestis, another Marquette player who is new to the Torrent tonight. He'll play it back. Gongoria. Played across by LeCompte. Cross towards the front. Headed over the goal line by Stefan, and we'll have our first corner kick of the evening. It will come to the Torrent. Mentioned Dayu coming from Germany, playing college soccer here in America at Northwest Nazarene. Of course, the German influence very strong here with the Milwaukee Torrent, as you would expect with owner Andy Davi. And, of course, Andy Davi is actually over in Germany right now, and a very happy man considering his connections with Bayer Leverkusen, who just had one of the most spectacular seasons in Bundesliga history. Champions of the Bundesliga, headed away off the corner kick. Second wave, not there for the Torrent. Spun around is Amon Swervin Mervin, as we are told he is called. Plays the ball back. Dangerous ball. And just playing it out to safety is Jermaine Mentour, South African national for Ehtar Belleville. We'll get a throw in for the Torrent. Ball taken off the foot of the Torrent. And now Ehtar on the run. Xavier Brown quickly down the pitch. Plays a ball forward without much pace. Easily controlled by Warnod. Now the Torrent will try and come back the other direction. 5th minute of the match. We've seen some good speed, and on a night with conditions as comfortable as this, you hope endurance won't necessarily be a factor. Not to mention both teams have good complements of substitutes this evening, but certainly the pace has been impressive thus far. Ball played towards the middle. Nothing there for Nestis, who was trying to come forward. Ehtar just clears it away. Torrent can't maintain possession. Sent forward by Tristan Austin. Another one out of Bloomfield, Colorado. Bit of a Colorado connection here on this Ehtar Belleville team. Fun to see these players come together really from all over the world. It is a high level of soccer, perhaps higher than I think the casual fan even understands. Had the chance last night to just go through both rosters and look at some of the bios of these players. Many of them do play college here in America, but an opportunity for players from all over the world to come to the United States, get an American education, and certainly further their love of the beautiful game, whether they were trained in the academies, overseas as youth, or just want to pursue more opportunities here in the States. Torrent with possession again. Dayu sends it back to Ludwig. Ludwig sends in a cross. Can't find the head of Gabe Vaughan. And we'll have a goal kick for Ehtar Belleville. Torrent are doing a good job on the wings of sending those crosses in, but outstanding central defense from Ehtar Belleville early on in these first 7 minutes of this match. And that is why we are still sitting at 0-0. Goal kick off the foot of Jose Ogaz, who, again, from Bloomfield, Colorado, another Bloomfield native here for the Ehtar Belleville squad. A lot of players from around the Belleville area as well, including a number that go to Lindenwood. Lindenwood is a Missouri university. They have a branch in Belleville, so a number of players at that branch coming over to play for Ehtar Belleville as well. So combination of local connections and those from around the world too. Skilling. Ball tapped up in the air in front of the net. Contact made with the keeper, but the ball also went over the crossbar. So there was nothing that was going to be available to the Torrent anyhow with the ball that far up and over. We'll get another goal kick for Ehtar Belleville. Torrent have had most of the possession thus far in this match, but Ehtar has shown the ability to counter. 7.5 minutes in, still scoreless on this absolutely gorgeous night on this Memorial Day weekend here in Wauwatosa, and we thank you for joining us on the YouTube channel. Do hope you take some time on this Memorial Day weekend to remember the purpose for the holiday, those who have sacrificed their lives in the name of our freedom. Nice to have the day off, don't get me wrong, but there is a reason, and it is to honor those who have been in the armed services and made sure with the ultimate sacrifice that we are able to be here and enjoy ourselves today. So take some time this weekend to ponder that, while we also ponder how the Torrent can try and get goal number 1 in this match. Still 0-0. Now we see Ehtar. Very content to try and play out of the back, make one good pass, try and find an open man. Ball sent out over the touchline. That'll be a throw in for Ehtar. Tristan Austin to take this throw in. Unless he decides to hand it off, which he will do. We'll let Harry Steffen take it. Steffen, with St. Charles Community College in his background, sends the ball forward. Good scrap for possession between Mervyn and Dayu. Ball sent out over the top of the Torrent bench, including James Weber and the rest of the Torrent technical staff. Throw in to be had by the Torrent. The official stops Dayu and says, "That's as far as you're going to go, and you're going to go no further." It's been a point of emphasis the last few years on throw-ins to not let players take them too far on their feet before they actually make the throw. Ball comes to the middle. Opportunity for the Torrent here, as perhaps they have numbers against Ehtar. Ball sent up over the top, and that ball lacked some purpose. And you can see that Juan Lopez kind of tilted his head backward after he sent that one, saying, "That one's on me." Possession back to Ehtar Belleville. Sent forward, chested and possessed by Brian Beement. Ball goes out over the touchline, and it'll be a throw-in for Ehtar Belleville. Falling down on the track over there, I believe that's Dylan Cassidy, yes, the Ehtar captain. And while Hart Park is a great facility, and you can see that there are stands on both sides, the stands on the near side, pretty full this evening, considering it's a holiday weekend. Even a few lonely fans over in the grandstand on the far side as the Torrent. Step-over move by Lopez. They'll try and play it out to the wing, and that ball's got too much mustard on it. Throw in for Ehtar. But among the challenges here at Hart Park are the fact that, yes, the track is just a few feet off the edge of the pitch, so occasionally you'll see players, as Ehtar gets the ball into the attacking third, shot on and in! A goal for Ehtar Belleville, and the Torrent have allowed early again. 1-0 Ehtar takes the early lead. It was Mervyn with the outstanding pass. And one touch for Ehtar and Tristan Austin. The goal comes in the 11th minute. Austin from Mervyn. And the Torrent, for the second straight week, will find themselves down early. It's a 1-0 contest in favor of Ehtar Belleville SC. Torrent have had a lot of possession early on, but Belleville found a way. Far side, over the touchline, it'll be a throw-in for the Torrent. Now, we were talking about the track before the goal and how there certainly is not much to keep your cleats from slipping out from underneath you on the track. Not to mention that the track is rubberized, so 1-2 ball in the box. Keeper was off his line. Shot up and over. LeCompte. And he's going to want that one back. Opportunity for the Torrent to answer back. But in the chaos, they can't organize anything, and Lake Copti ends up putting it over the woodwork. So yeah, the track can sometimes be a struggle for soccer players because it's certainly not something you want to land on, especially if you're moving when you land on it. That'll grab your skin and leave you with a little raspberry when you get done there. Of course, the other hazard is plainly obvious as you see the Torrent again going on the attack. Nestus, near side, step over move, small ball, touched out. Believe that was off the Torrent. No, they're going to say corner kick for FC Milwaukee Torrent, as the official deems that Ehtar was the last one to touch it out. Looked like that was off the Torrent foot. Nonetheless, Taylor Pill, the Torrent captain, also the associate head coach at Maranatha Baptist, he'll head over and he will gladly accept the Torrent's good fortune. Ball sent in. Torrent attacker fell down, and that doomed that corner kick. However, Ehtar just touches it out over the end line again. A little defensive header, and we'll get a Torrent from the other side. That'll mean a long jog for Pill. But they'll line this up one more time, and hopefully they can keep their footing. Now, another issue here. We were going to talk about short corner here for the Torrent, by the way. The many lines that you see on the pitch here, because there are many sports played in this facility, but footing in recent weeks here at Hart Park has been a bit of an issue. Shot blocked off the foot of Lake Copti. It comes back to Pill. He'll help reset for the Torrent. Again, they'll send the ball into the middle. Numbers are there. Up and over the top off the head of Shea Bailey. But again, the Torrent just can't find an answer. Oh, and they're going to say a corner kick for the Torrent. Stunner. That looked like it was Shea Bailey putting it over with his head. Short corner quickly for the Torrent, trying to catch Ehtar Belleville off. Shot wide. Lucas Nestus, left foot. Too much curl. As you can see, there are gridiron football lines. There are men's and women's lacrosse lines. Field hockey lines. And it becomes just kind of a confusing mess of... Yes, they have had Kevin O'Connor, my producer here, mentioning too that they do have the Premier Ultimate League, which is women's professional ultimate frisbee. They use, believe it or not though, Kevin, because this, in addition to Hart Park and the field having many lines and many sports, I have worked just about every sport you can think of here in one way or another, between the Torrents, Marquette University High School's boys lacrosse team, Marquette University's lacrosse team, which played Duke here in their first years of having a lacrosse program. But, yes, the Milwaukee Monarchs Ultimate Frisbee team plays here. They, however, mostly use the women's lacrosse lines, the blue lines that you see. Their out-of-bounds lines coordinate with the restraining zones. Actually, I should say those are the men's lacrosse lines, the blue restraining zone lines. They will extend those. So we've got a foul now against Ehtar Belleville as we decide what sport it is that we are talking about here, with Ehtar up on the Torrent 1-0 in the 17th minute. Set piece for the Torrent. As you can see, this will come from about 30 yards out, with the goal on the football goal line and the ball on the 20-yard line. American football, gridiron football, if you will. The most clear of the many lines on this surface. Marquette University High School also plays its football games here, as does Wauwatosa East. Ball into the box. Another Torrent player slipped and fell, and that's part of the reason I'm talking about the footing. Another corner kick coming up for the Torrent as that went off of an Ehtar head. Last week, I was actually here for two different events. We had Marquette University High School's boys lacrosse senior day here, and then the Milwaukee Monarchs had their home opener here, and we saw it with both events, especially during the men's lacrosse game, though, during the day. When it gets warm out here, for whatever reason, this surface has not had good footing over the course of this year. A lot of players just slipping and falling, especially when the weather gets warm for whatever reason. We've had a lot of rain here in the Milwaukee area the last couple days. It is artificial turf, but perhaps that water coming up through the rubber as the keeper, Ogaz, goes up to get that corner and once again keep the Torrent from threatening. Set pieces, corner kicks, Torrent able to work on a lot of stuff that they've also worked on the training ground thus far, but none of it has resulted in a goal. Ehtar, however, with the first goal of the contest by Tristan Austin in the 11th minute, and that's what has them up right now. Ooh, a steal. Taken away. Shot again blocked. And that Ehtar back line, they've had to work really hard thus far tonight, but they're doing the job. As once again, Nestus just can't find good contact. Again, the Torrent, though, back with it. Ludwig, co-captain, near side. Sends it over to Lecomte. He'll cross the ball into the box. Oh, almost one touch off the foot of Nestus. Played back towards the top, and we'll get an offside call against the Torrent. As understandably, with so much going on, they just got one too many players ahead of the last defender. Opportunity after opportunity for the Torrent through the first 19 minutes of this match. And yet Ehtar has the 1-0 lead. Headed up by Xavier Brown, trying to win the second ball. Ehtar Belleville, Brown again. Tough challenge by Tristan Austin, the goal scorer. Possession held momentarily by Yaya Nogenga of Ehtar. And we'll get a little bit of over-aggression on the part of the Torrent. Free kick to come here for Ehtar Belleville. Not what you would consider threatening range unless it's David Beckham out there taking this one. Last I checked, did not see him on the Ehtar Belleville roster tonight. Nonetheless, he'll send it towards the box. Keeper comes up. Ball is fumbled. And they are going to call the foul on Ehtar and Amon Mervin for making contact with Torrent keeper Augie Warnod. Unsurprising call there. Keeper's got the right to the ball. He's the first one who has the opportunity to get it. Anytime there's any sort of contact, they will call that foul. It's a difficult enough job being in net as a keeper, much less you've got players flying at you. There's not any tolerance for contact when a keeper comes out, particularly if he's going up into the air. Ball touched out by Ehtar Belleville. Throw in for the Torrent. Juan Lopez. Looking for Gabe Vaung. Could not find him. Throw in this time for Ehtar. We have surpassed the 20th minute mark. Good run by Amon Mervin. Can't find him with the through ball. Torrent take possession back. Gongora, we should say. We've got a Angel Gongora for the Torrent, who is headed to UWM after playing at Madison College, and we've got Yaya Nogenga for Ehtar Belleville in the first 11s this evening. Ehtar wanted offside. You saw Harry Steffen put his hand in the air. And maybe give him a red shirt next time, too, because he was able to make the call and get it. Torrent maybe getting a little anxious now, down 1-0. And again, they spent a healthy amount of time last Friday, not even yesterday, the Friday prior, down as well in that match to Des Moines United. It's one of the fun things about the Gateway Conference. It feels like it's a very evenly matched group this year. Teams have kind of realized what level they need to be at to compete. And as a result, you're going to see a lot of competitive soccer matches, I believe, in the Gateway Conference of the NPSL here in 2024. Not to mention, I think things administratively for most of these teams have kind of settled down after the tough times of the COVID years and whatnot, and now we're starting to get a feel for exactly what every team can bring to the table, what they need, what travel resources are, all of those things, and things are coming together. And by the way, as the Torrent do take the ball away, coming off his line is the keeper, Ogaz. He trips up the attacker. No call made, and now we do get a penalty. The official had to think about it for a second as Ogaz came off his line, missed the ball, and ended up getting the attacker. He got a small piece of the ball, we should say. but he ended up tripping up the Torrent attackman. And now the Torrent will get a penalty in the 23rd minute. Stepping up to the spot is Juan Lopez. Lopez, the Colombian national, and we saw a Colombian flag in the crowd in front of our spot here on the west side of Hart Park during the introductions to tonight's match. The Lopez fan club on their feet. Lopez approaches, fakes, fires, goal! FC Milwaukee Torrent! Call it in the 24th minute for Juan Lopez! It's an equalizer. It's 1-1.
The penalty kick scored by number 7, Juan Lopez.
The only thing surprising was how long it took the call to be made. Okaz knows it. Ehtar Belleville knows it. Some conversation going on among the Ehtar Belleville back line as they have been allowing the Torrent to mostly run unmarked on some of these counter attempts. They haven't had many because the Torrent have had more of the possession thus far tonight. But now we're back to level at 1-1. Lopez in the 24th minute from the spot. And from 12 feet away, he puts it away to make it 1-1. Little hesitation move. Got the keeper off his line. Finished solidly inside the left post. Torrent back with it again. Dayu. Gets past one defender. Good sliding tackle by Harry Steffen to knock it out, but we will get a throw-in for the Torrent. Inside the 18. We're going to get a call against the Torrent, and might have been off the ball there.
Thanks again to the Milwaukee Torrent's great sponsors for their support, including Project Concierge.
Taking a look as Max Ludwig is trying to get an explanation from the official as to what exactly happened. He was focused on trying to win possession, and we'll get another call here against the Torrent. This one with Ehtar Belleville in the attacking half. Square ball to the near side, and Steffen. 360. Sends it along the wing to Fowler. Mervin. He had the assist on the first goal. Knocks it out off Finlay Skilling. And we'll get a corner kick for Ehtar Belleville, their first corner of the match. Corner will be taken by the captain for Ehtar Belleville, Dylan Cassidy. He is in his 6th year as the head coach of the women's soccer team at Fontbonne. Sends it in with the left foot, touched away by the Torrent. Scrap for possession in midfield. Sent high into the air by Harry Steffen. Second ball. Ehtar wanted a handball, not called. Incidental over the top. Torrent actually have numbers down the pitch. Headed away. Vong. Forward. Lopez. Oh, and they're going to call the foul. You may be able to hear the Torrent faithful in front of us not happy with the call as the Torrent had broken out on the counter. 3 players forward. Numbers, 3-on-2. But again, the Torrent maybe a little too aggressive at this stage of the game. Number of fouls here in the last few minutes have cost the Torrent a couple opportunities. It'll be Ogaz to come forward. Again, Ehtar allowed 5 goals against Sunflower State last Saturday, the 18th. The first of those goals came in the 31st minute. The Torrent striking 7 minutes faster than Sunflower State did. Shot on, that goes just wide. Tristan Austin looking to make it a brace. And they will say that Warnod got a touch on it. It'll be a corner kick for Ehtar. Some of the other voices here in the press box perhaps questioning whether that ball had been touched. As the sun sinks here at Hart Park, lights not yet on. Maybe we're seeing things a little bit differently than the crew in red is seeing them early on. That one goes through everyone. I thought that might have actually been touched down by the Torrent, yet they call that a goal kick. And the Torrent will get to send it away. Augie Warnod mentioned the Parkside Rangers connections here on this Torrent squad. Warnod, he is going to Parkside, although he is a French national. He will be a junior this year, coming to us from Boulogne-Billancourt, France. His high school on his Parkside bio is listed as École Diagonale. Oui, oui. We do now have a Ehtar Belleville player down, at least momentarily. That is Xavier Brown, one of the many Belleville, Illinois natives on this Ehtar team, although he is a Leatherneck. Attends Western Illinois. Back on his feet, though. You can see he's not moving around quite the way he was before, but he's going to try and tough it out for Ehtar. Harry Steffen with a direct ball forward to Mervin. One touch back to Fowler. Little tiki-taka action here for Ehtar. And they lose possession. Juan Lopez, the PK scorer for the Torrent, as now Jamie Lecomte gets pushed down over the ball. And we will have a foul called against Yaya Nogenga, who comes to Ehtar Belleville, having played his college soccer most recently at Murray State Junior College. That is not the same, by the way, as Murray State, home of the Racers. Murray State University, if you will, but the Junior College of Murray State. Ball sent forward. Ludwig, one of the co-captains of the Torrent, finds Lopez. Back to Ludwig. Ludwig protects possession, then sends it over to Lecomte over the top. Bicycle kick attempt, perhaps a dangerous one too. Nothing comes of it. I mean, the idea is there if you're not surrounded by anyone, but we're going to get a check from the official as Gabe Vaughn tried to channel his inner Wayne Rooney there. The problem with when you take that bicycle kick when you're well marked is that your foot is flying up above your head and potentially right at a defender. And in the grand scheme of what officials can consider dangerous plays, you can subject yourself to any one of a number of cards, and goodness knows there's only really two that matter, but perhaps not the smartest decision for Vaughn, as Ehtar Belleville now has possession in the attacking third. 32nd minute of the match, we're level at 1-1. Headed away by the Torrent, but not to anyone in particular. Xavier Brown, overly optimistic. Tried to put a little bit of hook on it with the left foot, but the hook did not hook, so to speak. Far side, throw in, FC Milwaukee Torrent after the goal kick. Good match, very evenly played match thus far. Good representative sample of what you get in the NPSL, and the game has come so far here in America to think that really this is fourth, fifth level of the pyramid, and you're seeing football played this well. It's a great sign for the game in this country. Ball played into the middle. It was played behind the runner. Coming forward, Lopez And that allows Ehtar Belleville to take possession and go on the counter. Mervin is the one trying to stay on side ahead of the ball. Sent from the far side to the near side. Tristan Austin taken away from him. Mindful defense from the Torrent. Zakaria Dayu all the way down the left flank. Into the attacking third. Off the defender. Corner kick, FC Milwaukee Torrent. It will come as the clock ticks from the 33rd to 34th minutes. Torrent have had corner kicks in droves thus far this evening, but have not been able to capitalize, at least not yet. Pill has taken a number of these tonight. This time it'll be Max Ludwig. After raising both hands to the sky, he sends it over. Again, some slippage on that far side. It seems like it's about that spot on the pitch, too, where the Torrent have struggled numerous times tonight. Whenever they try and send that ball in, whoever it may be, and that time it was Finley Skilling, just can't get their footing in that spot. And that's part of the reason why these set pieces just have not worked out for the Torrent early on in this contest. Again, the one Torrent goal came earlier on a PK. That came on a counter. Not the ball that the Torrent wanted there, and we will get a goal kick for Ehtar Belleville. Mention that Ehtar Belleville is east of St. Louis on the Illinois side of the Mississippi River. Their big rival in the Gateway Conference of the NPSL, Club Atletico St. Louis. They're over on the other side of the river. Fun little rivalry between those two clubs, and our compliments, too, to Ehtar Belleville for making the trip, bringing such a good contingent with them as well. Had one of their representatives come up and talk with us before the match about their broadcast operations and how they do things in their press box. Always good to see when folks go on the road with their club. Again, that's been what's impressed me, how the logistics have gotten better year over year. Torrent with it near the penalty spot. Sent back outside. Zakaria Dayu ends up putting that one closer to that red car that's out in the parking lot than the goal. Don't think that's what he was aiming for. Although I would have given him, like, style points if he could have gotten it, like, if the sunroof is open, you know? That would be impressive. Ooh, yeah. Hit the ball onto the train. It could be... Yeah, because you haven't seen it just yet here on the broadcast, folks. We're talking about it in the press box right now. There are train tracks that are just north of the pitch here at Hart Park, and at some point during the match, you may see the train go by if the ball is on that half of the pitch when the ball goes by. We do have a foul on the Torrent, by the way, so we were just saying that if you could send a ball onto the train and have it land on the train, that could be like one of those Guinness World Records for the furthest kick ever. You know, where, like, it starts here and the ball doesn't land until it ends up in Minneapolis or something, you know? They're unloading the train and it's like iron ore, and then all of a sudden there's a soccer ball in there. And you're like, what? Good times here in the press box in Wauwatosa. Definitely want to shout out my producer, Kevin O'Connor. We will reference him a number of times tonight, doing a great job. Set up, coordinating our camera people, all of that stuff. Kevin does just an amazing job week to week. You hear him every once in a while on the broadcast, too. He's on rare occasions, he has had to do play-by-play for us through the nearly a decade that we've had the Torrent around. Hard to believe. But, one-on-one. Shot, save, cleared away by the Torrent. That's a save that Kevin O'Connor could not have made. However, Ehtar Belleville, with Yaya Nogenga right in front of the goal, meets Augie Warnod, and Warnod wins the battle. Then over the top off the foot of Mervin, who had the assist on the first goal. And the Torrent will have the good fortune of getting a goal kick here, as now we do see one of the trains going by on the north side of Hart Park. Can't see that on the broadcast just yet. If Torrent can get the ball into the attacking third, you may see the train in the background. 1-1, 38th minute. Glad to have you on board on the YouTube channel tonight. Looking at some of your comments on YouTube. Cheering on your favorite Torrent and Ehtar Belleville players. Shot partially blocked. In the box, one touch, another touch for Nestis. Nothing there. Belleville able to clear. And maybe only a momentary clearance, though. Sent away, Torrent able to get possession back. Ludwig. Looking for Dayu. Small space action for the Torrent. Dayu, one touch as he's falling over the end line. Can't get anything from it. Torrent get it back. Lecompte. Over to the far side. Vong. 1v1. Sends it back. Torrent cross it towards the middle. Header on. That'll go wide. Juan Lopez trying to make it a brace himself. Tried to go opposite side. Could not find the frame. Jose Ogaz will send it away. Into the midfield. One touch for the Torrent and Dayu. Little heavy. Second ball won by the Torrent and Lecompte. To the far side and Taylor Pill. He'll possess just before the ball reaches the touchline. Sends it towards the middle. Controlled by the Torrent and Nestis. Dayu back to Nestis. Nestis trying to break down his defender. Towards the edge of the 18. Torrent win a corner. Nestis. Put it off the foot of Wyatt Fowler, who attends Benedictine College, native of Olathe, Kansas. That is Benedictine College, different than Benedictine University, which is in the Chicago area. Question on the chat right now, what's the best item at the concessions? We actually have a special concessions vendor tonight that has got the grill out. As Pill sends in the corner. And I'll tell you something, the brats at the grill were nice. Ball into the middle. It's sent out and in. Maung to the left side. Skilling had it come to his feet. He was onside, and it's a goal. Finlay Skilling with the goal. And the Torrent go up 2-1.
Goal for the Milwaukee Torrent, scored by number 22, Finley Skilling.
The goal comes in the 41st minute. Skilling with his second goal of the year. He had one last week against Des Moines United. He's got another one tonight. And for the first time in 2024, the Torrent have the lead in an NPSL match. It's 2-1. They have the advantage on Belleville. I don't think Vaung was trying to pass that ball. I think he just misstruck it. But it found the feet of Finlay Skilling, and Skilling with the presence of mind to send it towards net. We've got a correction. It was Ludwig on the goal, 23, not 22. That would be Ludwig's first goal of the season. Ball into the box. Augie Warnod's able to get it. Going back myself on my replay monitor here to see exactly how that progression came about. Yep, it was right in front, and it was Ludwig. He had Skilling right behind him, just at the edge of the 6. Ball was headed out by Ehtar, again misstruck by Vaung, near the top of the 18. But right place, right time, Max Ludwig. Everything had kind of stopped for a second while the thought was that ball from Vaung was going wide. But Ludwig was there. And again, presence of mind to settle, put it on frame, and good things happen when you do that. Over the top of the Torrent. Goes out beyond the end line, and we will have a goal kick for Ehtar Belleville. 2-1. First advantage of the 2024 season for FC Milwaukee Torrent. They could only pull level with Des Moines United on May 17th tonight. They'll spend some time on top, but it is one of the most perilous leads in soccer, that 2-1 advantage. Ehtar has shown already that they can finish tonight. Their ability on the counter has proven to be strong. And now they'll get a throw in the attacking half. Approaching stoppage time here in the first half. Belleville plays the ball all the way back to Ogaz. And now we'll try and work out of the back. They are very confident in what they can do in terms of their ball handling ability in the back. Xavier Brown, part of the reasoning for that. Center back for Ehtar. We also talked about the fact that they have a former MLS player on their roster. That is Chris Duval, who is also a central defender. Don't believe Duval is here tonight. If he is not on the active roster, at least as far as we know. But Duval has bounced around the game for a number of years, but spent about 7 years in MLS, a number of different teams. Certainly, just having someone on the roster who has played at that level is helpful to the many young players who are out there in terms of explaining what all goes into being a high-level footballer here in America. Duval, 32 years old, began his career in 2014 with the New York Red Bulls after playing his college soccer at Wake Forest. Spent a couple years with Montreal Impact, 2017 and 18. Made 42 appearances with them. Then went to Houston Dynamo. He was given out on loan to Rio Grande Valley. Moved over to the OKC Energy. Was on the roster for the Portland Timbers in 2020 and FC Cincinnati in 2021. Did not see much time with either team. By the way, 2 minutes is the indication for added time. 2 minutes. But now is here with Ehtar Belleville, we should say. Duval, also an assistant coach for St. Louis City SC2 and MLS Next Pro. We're going to get our first booking of the match. I believe we're going to get a second one as well. We're going to have to check on this here. Looked like one was shown to Ehtar, Jermaine Mentour, and it looked like it was for something he said. Okay, so the indication from downstairs is there was a yellow card given to Xavier Brown, number 19. And also a booking given to the Torrent and Lucas Nestis. So perhaps a little bit of co-curricular interplay resulting in our first bookings of the match coming concurrently in the second minute of stoppage time, and we should be nearing the whistle that indicates halftime. An exciting first half, 3 goals, Torrent went down in the 11th minute. But a Lopez goal in the 24th from the penalty spot, and then Max Ludwig after a missed strike from Gabe Vaughn. And that's what has the Torrent with the advantage right now, 2-1. Ehtar Belleville will look for an equalizer in the second half. Torrent still looking to maybe get a third here before halftime. Nothing there. Ehtar gets possession. We'll see if we get a whistle in a moment or two here. Mervin, forward, touched out, and that will be our halftime whistle. An action-packed first half, but FC Milwaukee Torrent will go into the locker room with the lead. A 2-1 advantage on the strength of a Max Ludwig goal, in addition to a Juan Lopez goal from the penalty spot. Torrent had possession for much of the half, but Ehtar showed that they have a counter that must be taken into account. Nonetheless, the Torrent do have the lead. And as both teams walk towards the south side of Hart Park, that will be the direction the Torrent will be playing toward in the second half. We will take pause for a moment. When we come back, we'll talk a little bit about what we saw in the first half, and we'll get you ready for the second half as part of our halftime here on YouTube with FC Milwaukee Torrent up on Ehtar Belleville 2-1. This is FC Milwaukee Torrent Soccer. Back with you from Hart Park in Wauwatosa, Wisconsin, just west of beautiful downtown Milwaukee on this Memorial Day weekend where FC Milwaukee Torrent has the lead in this NPSL match over Ehtar Belleville by a score of 2-1. Ehtar Belleville got on the board first in this contest, slipping one past FC Milwaukee Torrent keeper Augie Warnod in the 11th minute. It was Tristan Austin that scored the goal, assisted by Amon Mervin, to get the scoring underway in this contest and get Ehtar Belleville on the board first. But FC Milwaukee Torrent got an equalizer when they were awarded a penalty kick that was taken in the 24th minute by Juan Lopez, the Colombian national, who also comes to the Torrent by way of Angelina Junior College. And it was Lopez slipping the ball past the keeper inside the left post to make it 1-1. A few minutes later, in the 41st minute, Max Ludwig had the good fortune of a ball off the foot of Gabe Vaung just kind of come to him as Vaung, near the top of the 18, misstruck a ball that came to Ludwig. With Finley Skilling crossing behind him, Ludwig saw the opportunity and put it past Jose Ogaz for the Torrent's second goal, and the goal that has given them their one-goal lead, 2-1, as we get ready to start the second half. This is week 2 of action in the NPSL. A couple other games have taken place earlier this week. On Wednesday night, Sunflower State got a victory over the Wisconsin Conquerors. That was their home opener. 2-0 was the final score in that one. And it was Des Moines United handing Wisconsin Conquerors yet another loss. That was a 4-0 victory for Des Moines United last night. There is one other game going on right now that also involves Sunflower State FC. They are taking on the rivals of this Ehtar Belleville FC squad, Club Atletico St. Louis. That game is taking place in Kansas as we speak. We do not have a score update on that one, however, as Sunflower State takes on Atletico. Here it is 2-1 in favor of the Torrent, and the second half is underway. Lights not yet on here at Hart Park. Suspect that those will be going on shortly, as it is pretty dark here all of a sudden now. The sun has gone down behind the trees behind us here on the east side of Hart Park. You can't see those because those are even behind the press box where we are, but we are now in the gloaming officially as we get the second half underway. Ball over to the far side for the Torrent as they are now moving from your left to your right on your YouTube screen. Also an announcement that the restrooms are locked, which means there may be some people sitting with crossed legs in the stands right now, but apparently they were locked. Okay, so maybe someone has locked the door, maybe one of our younger fans down there. So working on getting that squared away. The things you encounter at this level, there are only one set of restrooms available to fans here. They are on the south side of the pitch, the building that has the scoreboard on top of it. And, well, that's an inconvenience, certainly. If you've had a couple Torrent Kolsch's, the beer for the Milwaukee Torrent. Lion's Tail Brewing Company. So good as to make that beer for fans, supporters of FC Milwaukee Torrent. And it's the Torrent with possession, is hopefully they were able to use the bathroom before the second half got underway. Hate to have that uncomfortable situation. Jai Shea Bailey. He's the one who plays the ball forward. Ooh, good touch to the outside. Jamie Lecompte plays it back towards the middle. Controlled. Gets the defender on skates. Sent away. Ehtar Belleville. Tackle just outside the box. No call. It'll be controlled by Mervin, who had the assist on the lone Ehtar Belleville goal in the first half. We'll get a foul against the Torrent as Zakaria Dayu trips up Mervin along the touchline. And we'll get a free kick for Ehtar Belleville. Again, waiting for those lights to come on, too, here. Typically speaking, there is not much staff here on the part of the city of Wauwatosa on any given night, so whoever it is that's working on the bathroom probably then has to go and work on the lights after that, so we'll get it all figured out here eventually, folks. Just glad it's not my job. Only so much I can do at once here, folks. Ball played over the top. Trying to control it with the right foot. Sent back, shot on, save for Ogaz. Nice little attacking opportunity for the Torrent. Lucas Nestis, who drew a booking near the end of the first half with a solid shot, but it was right at Ogaz. He was just able to fall on it to make the save. Shea Bailey will try and win the second ball. He will not. It's touched back. Ehtar Belleville with possession. Xavier Brown also earned a booking near the end of the first half. Ehtar cannot hold on to possession. Throw in for the Torrent. Now we see the lights start to flash on here at Hart Park. And everything here will get a little bit brighter except for me. Zakaria Dayu. Near side, LeCompte from the corner, edge of the 18, taken away. Outstanding defense again for Ehtar Belleville. The problem for Ehtar Belleville has not necessarily been holding the Torrent down. Again, one foul when the keeper Ogaz came out and took down the striker near the edge of the 18. That resulted in the penalty kick that led to the first Torrent goal. And then kind of a flukish ball that resulted in the second Torrent score. Everything else the Torrent have done, even as much possession as they've had in this match, Ehtar has been able to mix it up just enough to keep the Torrent from getting on the board more than that. You can tell they've done a little bit of work since giving up 5 to Sunflower State last week. That being said, though, it's been that transition from the midfield to the attacking third where Ehtar has struggled to put things together. Hard to know how much possession they had against Sunflower State last week, and it's passes like that. Yaya Nogenga looking for Amon Mervin. Just puts it too far off his foot and out beyond the touchline. Ball played all the way back to the Torrent keeper Warnod. Over to the left side. Torrent to the attacking half. Now played back. Torrent can afford to be a little patient here with the 1-goal advantage, but again, not too patient. Ball over the top. Vaung. Spun around a little bit. Torrent maintained possession, but pull it back outside the 18. Cutting through. Ooh. Dangerously close to an own goal there as that was touched out by Jermaine Mentour, South African national for Ehtar Belleville. Another one who attends Lindenwood. It does go out beyond the far post. We'll have a corner kick for the Torrent. Torrent have had corner kicks galore in this match, but none of them have yet to turn into a goal. I'd like to change that here. Pill on the far side. One of the co-captains for the Torrent. Player down in the box. That's Shea Bailey. Ooh, and while he's down, an Ehtar player falls on him. Headed up and over the top. Mervin just in the wrong place at the wrong time to get a hold of that one. If he would have, he had a head of steam and could have headed straight towards Warnod at the other end. Instead, 1v1. Torrent lose possession. Nice defense there by Tristan Austin, who does also have the lone Ehtar Belleville goal. Hodgson. Over to the far side, back to Austin. Again, Ehtar Belleville will try and organize from the back. Hodgson to the far side. Tries to send the ball forward, but can't find anybody. Taylor Pill is there. Torrent get it back. Little back heel action. Does not work for the Torrent. Once again, Ehtar Belleville will try and reorganize. Little pressure applied by Lucas Nestis. Tough challenge by Dayu. Allowing the ball to go out is Dylan Cassidy, the captain for Ehtar Belleville. Once again, Ehtar Belleville is content to just play the ball through the back and try and find the right opportunity against the Torrent here. Being very patient here early on in this second half. We are almost 9 minutes into this second half of play. And while Ehtar Belleville has had most of the possession thus far in the second half, it's mostly been spent doing this. Ball over the top, and there's nobody there. That's no Genga. Maybe looking for Mervin, but instead sending it straight to a Torrent defender in Finlay Skilling. And once again, Ehtar tries to send it up. Nothing there. Torrent will come back the other way. Gongora to the near side, and Dayu. Dayu takes it forward with the dribble. Gets past a man. Edge of the box. Through ball does not go through. And again, this time Ehtar losing their patience. Beament was the target for that pass, but it was beyond him, and the Torrent are able to get possession back. Now the Torrent content to be patient. Both teams playing very much under control, and made the comment during halftime here in the box, as they will say that one got beyond the touchline. It'll be a throw-in for Ehtar that at this level, in the past, and we want to emphasize in the past, sometimes we have seen some of these NPSL contests feature some undisciplined play, some frustration, some tempers flaring at times, but I have to say tonight, we have seen both of these teams play under control, really stick to their strategy, and play some quality from the training ground football. It's been a good tactical match tonight. We like to see that at this level. It'll be touched out by Shea Bailey, and we'll get a corner kick for Ehtar Belleville. They have not had nearly as many opportunities from the corner flag as the Torrent have tonight. Austin will be the one to take it for Ehtar. In-swinger, or correction, out-swinger with the right foot. Touched away initially. Out wide. Towards the goal! Mervin didn't really have an angle, but he put it into a dangerous position. And Augie Warnod is down. Now, did not see if there was any contact with Warnod. He definitely punched the ball away. But Warnod went down after he was able to clear that ball away. Outstanding opportunity. Yeah, just a weird situation. Warnod, as the ball came in, he was struck by one of the attackers right after the ball came in. As Warnod is able to collect the ball here. And the Torrent will try and counter. It was right after he knocked the ball away. Now the Torrent will go the other direction. Also, the Torrent have their first two substitutes of the night at the tackle, or at the table, we should say. Looks like Sam Abreu and Sam Carlos. Sam I am. Green eggs and ham at the table. Ball goes out. Throw in for the Torrent. Not ready to make the substitution just yet. Torrent not seeing anything through the back. Ehtar gets possession. Ball sent out. And now we will get those substitutions. Abreu and Carlos will come on. Abreu will come on for Jamie LeCompte. And Sam Carlos will be replacing Lucas Nestis. First two substitutes of the night for either side, as Ehtar has stuck with their first 11 throughout this match thus far, although they have all of their bench players, save one, currently warming up just north of the end line. Gongora back to Skilling. Torrent just working it around. Now trying to play a ball forward. That's Lopez, who scored the first Torrent goal from the spot at the other end of the pitch in the first half. Could not possess. Goes out. Throw in for Ehtar Belleville. Couple 1-2 balls for Ehtar. They'll send the ball all the way back to Ogaz, and they will try and reverse the pitch. To Hodgson. Over the top, direct. Looking for Mervin. Touched out away from him by Dayu. Throw in for Ehtar. Comes to Xavier Brown. Back to Cassidy. Brown on the 1-2 ball. He'll send it further back. Ehtar not yet in panic mode, that is for sure. Despite the fact that we are now in the 61st minute and Ehtar is down 1. Mervin near the end line. Outstanding defense by Dayu to get it away from Mervin. Ehtar does possess, though. The captain, Cassidy. Try to pass, couldn't get it. Two Ehtar players go to the ground. Skilling over the top. Looking for Vaung. Vaung has an assist on the night already. Ball played. Far post. It's a goal. The Torrent strike again. It's 3-1. And it's the second goal of the match for Max Ludwig.
It's a brace for Max Ludwig.
Give it to him in the 61st minute. A run-of-play goal for Max Ludwig. Far side, unassisted, gets by one defender, beats another. And from the edge of the 18, it's a brace, and the Torrent lead 3-1. Max Ludwig, co-captain. Coming to Parkside by way of Germany. And coming to the Torrent to score multiple goals this evening. He's now got 2. And that's the advantage for the Torrent in this match. Challenge for the ball. It goes out over the touchline. Throw in for Ehtar. Now we do see Ehtar start to show a little bit more urgency. And there's that footing that we were talking about before. Wyatt Fowler slips and falls. Torrent get possession back. Lopez. To the middle. Ludwig. We know what he can do. Does he have a hat trick in him? He scored, but he's down. It's 4-1 Torrent. Not sure if that's Ludwig or it's not Ludwig. I believe that was Skilling. Correction, that's Juan Lopez, and he is down.
That's going to be a Milwaukee Torrent goal. Scored by number 7, Juan
The goal comes in the 63rd minute. It is 4-1 Torrent, but Lopez is down. He went to celebrate, and then he reached for his leg as he was starting to do so. And that's an unfortunate situation for the Torrent if that is the case, because that is his second goal of the night. Yep, Lopez beat the defender, but was tackled in the process of taking the shot. It was Michael Hodgson that just kind of caught his back leg as he was taking the shot. He scored. He had just a split second to think about celebrating, and then he reached for his leg. As he got up, he reached for his right knee. He took the shot with his left foot, the outside foot. And it was the near side knee that he reached for as soon as he scored. So Lopez will come out after scoring the goal. Going in for him is Paco Piscaglia, familiar name to Torrent fans. He has been part of the squad for a number of years now. Also some new faces in for Ehtar. Islam Husni, along with his brother Taha Husni. Both Moroccan nationals. Taha scored a goal in the 12th minute for Ehtar in their match against Sunflower State last weekend. They will come on for Ehtar. Among those who come off, Tristan Austin, along with Dylan Cassidy, the captain, will take a seat. But it is 4-1 FC Milwaukee Torrent after Juan Lopez scores his second goal of the night, although for this one, he paid a pretty dear price. Hopefully, he will be okay. Hate to suspect at this level. The fine folks with Fredericton, the Medical College of Wisconsin, providing the training services for the Torrent, taking a look at Lopez right now. We'll get a throw in deep in the attacking third for Ehtar. Xavier Brown runs forward along the track, headed away by the Torrent. Brown comes forward, sends the ball with pace but not much direction. That is taken away by the Torrent. And now they'll come back the other direction. Good step over move by the substitute Carlos. Back to Pill, the other of the Torrent captains, along with Ludwig, who has the 2 goals in the match, as well as Lopez. Far side for the Torrents. Ball played towards the middle. Over the goal line. Goal kick for Ehtar. Ehtar did score the first goal in this match. It was also the case for them against Sunflower State. They had the lead on Sunflower State and ended up dropping that match 5-2. Looking perhaps too similar to that match if you are an Ehtar supporter. Challenge. We're going to get a whistle and a foul as both players go down. A lot of writhing in pain on the far side. And they are going to call for the trainer. That is the substitute for Ehtar, Taha Husni, again the one who scored the goal against Sunflower State, who is now down for them, and he appears to be in significant pain. For as little as we had in terms of strong challenges in the first half, as the adrenaline has gone up here in the second half, with the Torrent adding a couple goals to their advantage. All of a sudden now on that goal by Lopez, you see him go down, and now Taha Husni one of two Husney brothers on this Ehtar squad, goes down, and he appears to be hurt as well. And again, that one came off of a hard but clean challenge. Really a clean challenge. Might have just been that he got hit by the ball, for all we know, because the ball did make contact. Hard to say. We have mentioned that the footing here has not been perhaps as solid as most of the players would have expected. Good to see Taha on his feet, and he is going to walk over to the end line. Yeah, well, you know, Kevin O'Connor, my producer here, mentioning that the pitch has kind of like a smoothness to it. It seems like almost, and as much use as this facility gets, it may just be that, you know, with as many teams as are on this, that the turf does get a little bit trampled down or worn, and as a result, there's just not a lot of actual, like, turf, like grass to it. Yeah, Kevin pointing out that, yeah, you can see that that kind of shiny section in the middle where it just does look very flat, like almost kind of like old school AstroTurf. And we do get a substitution, by the way, for Ehtar coming on. Paul Montserrat Renchal comes on. He is a Spanish national who is also a Lindenwood attendee. Looked like he came on for Harry Steffen. Did not see who came on for Taha. Okay, and they say that Taha apparently did come back onto the pitch, so that's good news at least. Yes, and we do see him at a right center back position right now. So glad to see that he's back up and doing okay after what seemed like a pretty bad injury for a moment there, but now he's back up and running around, so that's good. Whenever you see a player, it is unfortunate. Shot on. Knocked away. Nice save by Ogaz. On a solid strike by Zakaria Dayu. We'll get a corner kick here for the Torrent. But it is sad that in the modern game, unfortunately, when you see a player go down with that much writhing in pain, if you will, as Ogaz is able to collect the Torrent corner. And Ehtar, maybe with a little bit less enthusiasm than when they were down 2, now tries to work possession again, finding themselves down 3 in this 4-1 match in the 72nd minute. But yeah, there's unfortunately we have gotten to the point in the game where it's, call it cynical if you want, but when a player goes down that hard, the first thing that you are thinking much of the time is he just trying to sell it to get a booking or some sort of a stronger punishment, if you will, against the player that fouled him? But there, it did legitimately look like after a while Taha really did take a shot there. And again, good to see him back up. Hard challenge. It was a fair challenge, too. That's the other thing, is that it was definitely a fair challenge. So, you know, that's part of the game, unfortunately. It's a rough game. It is a rough game. And sometimes players will go down, and it's not anything that the opponent did that was malicious. It's just part of the game sometimes. But that's why we're always glad when those players pop back up. And for Taha Husney, Indiana Wesleyan, we should say, his college of choice. Good to see him back on his feet and still doing work for the Torrent. Offside will be the call as the flag goes up on the near side. Against the Torrent, Taylor Pill got a little too far forward. Ogaz will do the work himself here from just outside the box. Unfortunate that the Lopez injury put a damper on his second goal, because clearly the Torrent have gotten it going on the attack tonight here in the second half. Ludwig with his second goal as well. pair of braces for the Torrent. One for the uppers and one for the lowers. Ehtar kind of settling back into their normal progression of trying to find the correct opportunity through the wings. 2 touches, ball out wide. That's the substitute Carlos. Cross into the middle, headed up into the air. Second header isn't there as Ogaz is able to collect. Torrent win possession back. A lot of individual work being done in the attacking half for Ehtar. That's where there's maybe some room for improvement for Ehtar Belleville. They do a good job of communicating through the back and marking their men, but the movement just not quite there when it comes to men trying to leave their marks for Ehtar Belleville in the attacking third. Mervin, near side, knocked away from him. He'll collect before it goes out beyond the touchline in the corner. He'll play a ball back. Just sent forward by the other Husni brother, Islam. He attends Georgetown. And when I say that, if you know anything about Georgetown soccer, if you're a Marquette fan, many of those around Milwaukee, you might say, hey, Georgetown, big-time Big East school, one of the top programs in the country. Yeah, but not that Georgetown. He goes to Georgetown College, not Georgetown University. Slightly different program. Believe they are an NAIA school, if I'm not mistaken. We'll check that real quick as we get a foul against Ehtar. Torrent content to not really set much up on the set piece here in the 76th minute. Just hold on to possession. Nice 1-2 ball. That's the difference right there. You see these 1-2 balls. You see the Torrent making a pass and then trying to find open space. And, we talked about the fact we're going to get a corner kick for the Torrent here as well. FC Milwaukee Torrent with a lot of Platteville influence on this squad. And while Rick Kilps is no longer the coach at Platteville, his influence on that program, one of the better programs really throughout Division II through the years. You can still see it in not just what you see from Parkside when they play, but obviously what you're seeing from their players tonight. As we get a substitution for Ehtar, that is Jake Pollock, who heads out onto the pitch. He will be joined by DJ Clark. Wyatt Fowler comes off for Ehtar. We'll also get the other name who is coming off as well for Ehtar Belleville. Corner kick for the Torrent. Outswinger. Headed towards goal. Headed away by Ehtar in the middle. It's that sort of chaos that resulted in the Torrent's second goal. Can't get anything there. After the ball was sent away by Ogaz, it was collected by Max Ludwig, who is still out there for the Torrent, perhaps trying to seek a hat trick in this second match of the year for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Ball goes out. We'll have a throw-in for Ehtar Belleville. It was Yaya Nogenga who came off for Belleville as the other player who left in that double substitution. We had a booking while we were talking about that, and we'll find out exactly who that was on. Looks like they've showed it to Taha Husni of Ehtar. We also had another Torrent substitution while we were having that discussion as well. So Husni gets booked, Taha Husni. Have to clarify with the two brothers out there in the 77th minute officially on the book. 78th minute, we'll say, on the booking for Taha. Jai Shea Bailey comes off. Paul Saiz was the player that came on for the Torrent. Mentioned the Parkside influence as we get a set piece here for Ehtar. Over the top towards the goal, and a challenge for Arki Warnad. Cuts across. That one was not on frame, but Warnad still had to come over and play that one at least, with it going as close to the near post as it did. Saiz also a Parkside student. However, he comes to FC Milwaukee Torrent from Catalunya. So we'll get a whistle and a foul call, and the referee is making sure here with the Torrent with this 3-goal advantage, and Ehtar Belleville in a position where they've got some substitutes out there now, down 3, trying to be a little bit more on the aggressive side to get possession back. He's trying to ensure that this match does not get out of hand, but mentioned the Catalunya piece for Saiz. Of course, Catalunya, part of geopolitically the country of Spain, but in many ways considered a region unto itself. Many Catalonians believe that they should achieve independence at some point and are striving to do so. Of course, that is the region that Barcelona is in, and so much of the culture of FC Barcelona, famous club, inherently tied to the Catalonian culture as well. Corner kick for Ehtar. Nothing comes of it as first. Torrent look to counter. Ehtar gets possession back. See if they can catch Torrent moving too far forward. And that's a overly ambitious attempt by Pau Montserrat Ronchal, or Ronchal, we should say. The Spanish national, Ronchal, with the Catalonian Saiz out there. Wonder if there's some Real Madrid FC Barcelona rivalry between those two players. And now the trainer is coming out onto the pitch here. Didn't see what happened. Not exactly sure what the case was there, but the referee indicates everything's okay, so. Now we'll get a foul against Ehtar, and yeah, we're starting to see this match get a little bit on the chippy side here all of a sudden. Substitute coming up here for FC Milwaukee Torrent. It will be Brandon Kaup who comes on for the Torrent. He subbed on in the match against Des Moines United as well. And he will replace Gabe Vaughan, who did, of course, have the assist on the second Milwaukee Torrent goal, scored by Max Ludwig.
Brandon Kaup enters the match for Gabe Vaughan.
We will also see Oliver Brennan come on for Ehtar Belleville. He is an English national. He replaces Xavier Brown, who will leave the match having been booked in the first half. So he will remain safe from any further punishment for the remainder of this contest. 83rd minutes, FC Milwaukee Torrent went down 1-0 in this match in the 11th. But goals in the 24th, 41st, 61st, and 63rd minutes are why the Torrent find themselves up 4-1 and are looking to make it 4 points on the season through their first 2 matches. Ehtar able to get possession back as, again, with a number of reserves out there for both squads now. Opportunity for a number of guys to just get a run in. Wise decision to let the ball go back to Warnad, although Warnad chooses not to collect. Sends it over to the near side. Pill takes a little contact from Mervin. No call, though. Another substitution coming for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Ethan Kratzer. He'll come on. He actually got the start in the opening week. This time he'll come on as a substitute. He will replace Angel Gongoria. Kratzer, a pioneer from Carroll University, a little west of here in Wauwatosa, located in Waukesha. That's going to go just wide of the goal, and it's going to result in a corner kick for Ehtar Belleville. Dangerous situation there. Defender coming across. That was Abreu. Warnod appeared to have a beat on that ball. Abreu made contact, and from this angle, it looked like it was dangerously close to being an own goal for the Torrent. Instead, the ball does go out over the end line, but it's still a corner kick for Ehtar in the 85th minute. Edge of the 6, nothing there. Off Ehtar. Goal kick for the Torrent. Ehtar Belleville, at this stage of the game, has 3 goals through most of 2 matches. 1 match and most of a second. And again, it looks like the attack is where they're going to need a little bit of work going forward. Some of the communication, and again, some of the off-ball movements. A little hesitant to get into the attacking third. A lot of playing the ball around the back. And then that communication to make the good passes. The Torrent really able to read what Ehtar was trying to do very well tonight. Getting in on a lot of those passes, being there first. Mervin, he is dangerous, and that's going to be a goal. Ehtar does get on the board. Mervin with his second assist of the night. We'll check on who scored it. Beautiful ball in by Mervin. Had 2 runners, and it was the second one through Brian Beement who got the goal. Beement from Mervin. It comes in the 86th minute. And now it's 4-2. Well, there's that second goal. Torrent, up and over the top, no. Trying to answer right back. Six goals already in the contest, and the Torrent trying to make it 7, trying to make that score the same line as the one that Sunflower State hung on Ehtar Belleville last Saturday. And now we've got, again, more extra activity here. Foul on FC Milwaukee Torrent. Some of the Torrent fans not happy that there wasn't a whistle before that. Set piece for Ehtar. This will be one of their substitutes, Oliver Brennan, over the ball. Mentioned that he is from England. Last attended Mineral Area Junior College here in America. Over the top, not collected at first by Warnod, but he's able to get a fortunate ricochet back into his arms. Well, we have seen crazier things happen than a 4-2 lead disappear in the final minutes of a match. Torrent just trying to hold everything together here as the pace has become frenetic for Ehtar Belleville, and we will have a significant amount of added time with a couple injuries that we've had in this half. So this one is still pretty far from over, folks. Paul Saez is the one who plays that one back for FC Milwaukee Torrent. To the near side, and the substitute Carlos. Carlos is taken down, and this is going to be a booking. The question is the color of the card, and it is red. Islam Husni has been sent off. We saw Taha Husni, his brother, draw a yellow card earlier. Now it's Islam Husni, who was given a straight red in the 89th minute. That was deserved. Straight red came in from the side, looked like he didn't get any piece of the ball. Carlos does bounce back up, and he's fortunate to do so.
It's going to be a red card for Ehtar Belleville's number 5, Islam Huzni.
There was also a yellow that came in afterwards as well. The ball had come out almost a full beat before Islam Huzni went into Sam Carlos. Looking at the play back, Huzni just got both legs of Carlos. That is as straightforward of a straight red as an official can give. We will have 7 minutes of added time. Unsurprising that there is that much added time, given the situation. Trying to check to see if there was a yellow too in addition. Sounds like there were 2 yellows. Yes, a yellow card was given. It appears to... As we try to sort out the situation with the yellow cards. There was definitely one given to Amon Mervin of Ehtar Belleville SC. Or FC, we should say. Looked like another one was given out. It's difficult to tell from the replay whether it was given to an Ehtar player or a Torrent player. A lot of complaining was being done by Brennan, the substitute, and the card was shown in his direction, but we are not going to say for sure just yet whether it was him who earned it or not. Over the top of the keeper, and that's your 5th Torrent goal! And they are dancing here in Milwaukee. (5-2) FC Milwaukee Torrent.
That's a goal for the Milwaukee Torrent, and that will complete Max Ludwig's hat trick on the night.
And it's Ludwig with the hat trick for the Torrent as he chips the keeper in the 92nd minute. Max Ludwig making the camera shake. Will give an assist to the substitute Samuel Abreu, but ultimately it was the decision-making by Ludwig who has proven himself to be by far the best finisher on the pitch tonight. The German national on the team owned by Andy Davi. Proud German. Proud Bayer Leverkusen supporter. Ludwig doing it the same way that Bayern did. Putting them away. And it's the same 5-2 scoreline that Ehtar lost to Sunflower State to last week. Push from behind. Obvious foul against the Torrent and Paco Piscaglia. Again, we will have at least 7 minutes of stoppage time with the additional goal, and maybe more like 8. Action-packed match here at Hart Park. Everything you could ask for and more if you're a Torrent supporter. Oliver Brennan into the box, finds a Torrent head first, skitters away. Throw in for Ehtar. Jake Pollock, also one of the substitutes for Ehtar. Kind of a sidearm throw. Maybe not the most legal thing in the world, but at this stage of the match, not something that's going to get called. Sent out by the Torrents. Torrent get possession. Maybe a little too eager, especially with this 3-goal lead this late in the match. They gave it right back. Couple nice 1-2 balls. Ehtar maybe should have gone to that well a little bit earlier in this match. Obviously, the ball played forward went well wide of the mark, but have to be a little bit more active against a Torrent team that has the kind of speed and anticipation as this one does. So the Torrent will get their first victory of the year to go with their draw in the opening week. Again, we mentioned they will move up to 4 points on the year. Chasing, again, that very good Sunflower State FC team, which now already has at least 2 victories on the season thus far. We'll have to see how they did against Club Atletico St. Louis this evening. But we know that Sunflower State already has 6 points. They may have 9 by the end of the night. But FC Milwaukee Torrent trying to keep pace. Torrent will head on the road and be the away side against Des Moines United next Saturday. Opportunity for 6, shot and a save. And that would have been a 4th. That would have been a haul for Max Ludwig. Don't talk about that too often. Sent out by Ehtar, corner kick for the Torrent. How many more do you want, Max? Having a career's worth of scoring in one game. Ludwig over in the corner, takes the corner for FC Milwaukee Torrent. Well, that's one way to keep him from scoring. Shot off the crossbar. Trying to get on the action, Sam Abreu. He had the assist on that goal for Ludwig, goal number 5, the one we just saw. Now it's Abreu trying to put one in himself. Just spun it off the top of the woodwork. Near side. Torrent will now just possess. Little sliding tackle action. It'll be a throw in for Ehtar. Also 7 goals on the season thus far for the Torrent. Ehtar, we were touting how well they had held things up defensively throughout this match, but goals in the 61st, 63rd, and 92nd minutes. Shot, make it 6 goals for the Torrent, and now Abreu does get on the board. Samuel Abreu, the pride of Verona, Wisconsin. Half a dozen for the Torrent. 6-2, FC Milwaukee Torrent over Ehtar Belleville. It comes in the 98th minute. Abreu with a laser beam from 30 yards out. And that's going to be a walk-off. Referee has blown her whistle. We are done. 6-2 is your final. Lopez in the 24th, Ludwig in the 41st, Ludwig in the 61st, Lopez in the 63rd, Ludwig in the 92nd, and Abreu in the 98th, and that's how FC Milwaukee Torrent put 6 goals on Ehtar Belleville in a 6-2 victory here at Hart Park. As the Torrent take down Ehtar Belleville for their first win of the 2024 NPSL season. Ehtar did get on the board first. It was Tristan Austin, assisted by Amon Mervin. Mervin also assisted on a goal by Brian Beeman in the 86th minute. But as we sometimes see at this level, as the match wound towards its conclusion, things got a little chaotic. Ehtar saw Islam Husni get sent off in the 89th minute and then surrendered 2 goals in stoppage time after they had closed things to 4-2. And as a result, it ends up being a 6-2 final as the Torrent even outdo Sunflower State by a goal relative to what Ehtar Belleville did against Sunflower State in their home opener. A well-played match throughout, and the final scoreline perhaps does not reflect the quality of what we saw from both sides throughout this match. Again, 2 Torrent goals in second half stoppage time, in addition to Ehtar Belleville scoring a goal in the 86th minute and having a man sent off in the 89th. The final 10 minutes of this match, including the 8 minutes of stoppage time we had afterwards, did see things kind of go off the rails. But it was a 2-1 match at the half, and really until the 2 Torrent goals between the 61st and 63rd minute, it was an outstanding match all around. It was after those 2 goals that things started to kind of go a little crazy. Nonetheless, the Torrent will accept the 3 points and move on, as next week, FC Milwaukee Torrent will head on the road to Des Moines, Iowa, where they will take on Des Moines United FC at the Mid-American Recplex. That match will take place on Saturday, June 1st at 7 p.m. Ehtar Belleville will try and regroup. They will head back to Althoff Catholic High School to take on Kansas City Soul in a match that will take place at 2 in the afternoon next Saturday. But they will do so having dropped 2 matches and having surrendered 11 goals on the season thus far to both Sunflower State FC and FC Milwaukee Torrent, while FC Milwaukee Torrent will go up against that Des Moines United team that they drew against last week and try and better that result, having the momentum of this 6-2 victory against Ehtar Belleville behind them. An outstanding match for FC Milwaukee Torrent, both the team and its supporters, as they're able to celebrate a 6-goal performance and a 4-goal victory here at Hart Park on the home turf tonight. We will be back with you here on the FC Milwaukee Torrent YouTube channel for the Torrent women as they open up their home schedule for the 2024 season against the Green Bay Glory on Sunday, June 2nd. It'll be a 3 p.m. kickoff time for that match. You are, of course, welcome to watch us on the YouTube channel. Even better, though, if you're in the Milwaukee area, come on out. Make your way to Hart Park. See the Torrent women in person as they take on their rivals to the north, the Green Bay Glory. Again, 3 p.m. kickoff. We will have coverage for that on the YouTube channel as well. My thanks to Kevin O'Connor, the producer for the broadcast, all of our camera people, and everyone involved with the Torrent organization for helping to make this happen tonight. My name is Dan Pfeiffer, saying be a fan, thanks for watching, and so long for now. Once again, your final, FC Milwaukee Torrent 6, Ehtar Belleville FC 2. This has been FC Milwaukee Torrent Soccer on the FC Milwaukee Torrent YouTube channel.